video is on fixed aspect ratio. Now, what exactly is aspect ratio? Well, it just means that the width and the height, the ratio between those, the width and the height of an object, is going to stay the same whether I make it bigger or smaller. So when it's fixed, that means that the height and the width, that ratio is going to stay the same. Now, with any object that I bring into Mimio Notebook, that I copy and paste from a different program, that I bring in from my gallery, like these two images, they're going to automatically be fixed aspect ratio or have that as a setting, so that when I make that bigger or smaller, then the ratio of the height and the width is going to stay the same. Now I can turn that off on any object by simply selecting my object, right-clicking, and then clicking on fixed aspect ratio. When I go back in there, you'll see that now it's not highlighted. There's not a box over there. When fixed aspect ratio is turned off, then I can make this arrow look whatever size I want. I can squish it and make it long and skinny, or do whatever. So to turn it off again, you just right-click on that object and then click on fixed aspect ratio, which will turn that little box off. So now I can make these any way I want. If I want a tall book, or I want to make him a little bit taller, I can do that. Now, when is fixed aspect ratio automatically on an object, and when is it not? Well, if I were to come in here and use my pen tool and I were to draw a circle, or an ellipse, if you will, oval, that is not going to have fixed aspect ratio. I can make this whatever size I want because I drew that object. Same thing if I were to create a shape. If I come in here and I want to make a rectangle, and if I wanted to resize it, I can resize it however I want because fixed aspect ratio is not turned on. Now, just like I can turn it off of some objects, I can turn it on to these objects if I want to by simply right-clicking and turning it on. So that way my width and height now is going to stay the same, or the ratio will stay the same whether I make that bigger or smaller. Anything that I bring in from the gallery though, or like I said before, copy and paste from a different program, those are all going to be predefined as fixed aspect ratio is turned on, or it will have the fixed aspect ratio. But again, right click and click on fixed aspect ratio, and that is now turned off. And that is the video on fixed aspect ratio.